my channel if you haven't been here. Welcome back if you have. So today I'm doing something that's really exciting, and that is a Life of a Showgirl guide, a pre-release Life of a Showgirl guide. So this is coming out a few hours before, 5 hours before the album comes out. Fingers crossed I'm able to get it edited on time. I'm recording it just like, I don't know, 4 hours before it's released, the video. So before I publish the video, I have 4 hours to look through all the footage and edit it, but that's okay because we love Taylor and we'll do anything for her. And I love my fellow Swifties, and that's why I decided to hold back on recording this so I can give you the most up-to-date information. There are certain things I didn't include in this guide, so if you're looking for all the lyrics released, sorry, I do not have that for you because there are so many getting released right now. Just as I was sitting down to record the video, I opened Taylor Nation's story and I saw, after I had all my notes printed because I made loads of notes, they just released more lyrics. So that's why I decided not to put lyrics, because they're always putting out more. But yeah, this is quite exciting. So let's get to it. Let's do a track by track to start the video off. So before we get into the video, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and also follow me on my TikTok and Instagram. That I also post great content, and you should check it out. Okay, so we're gonna go track by track. I'm gonna tell you the track length and the writers. I'm also gonna tell you of what I think it could be about, and that's all. I'm not gonna try to go for sound, production. I don't know any of that. I just try to go for metaphors, and I feel like as a Swiftie, I've grown to try to understand a lot more of metaphors and try to understand a lot and pay more attention in English class for what could be more metaphors or not. So let's see if that helps anything when it comes to Taylor Swift, because we gotta apply stuff that we learned in class for Taylor, because English class will help me with lyrics, math class will help with her numerology. So that's great, I guess. So let's start with our notes. The first track is The Fate of Ophelia. This will be 3 minutes and 48 seconds long. This will be a single, and it'll have a music video released first on the release party of a Showgirl. That we'll talk about that later. And then after at 7 p.m. Eastern time, if I'm not wrong, I don't know why I didn't write that down, I should have. We're gonna get on Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern time, it's gonna be released with the lyric videos. Oh my gosh, I'm not making it smooth, whatever. So, Ophelia is a tragic character from Hamlet by William Shakespeare that descends into madness and drowns. What I believe this song might be about is that many artists do descend into madness and drown when fame hits. And what I believe Taylor is gonna do and use as a metaphor here is that she doesn't want that to happen to her. She doesn't want to have the same fate as Ophelia. And I don't know if she'll mention names. I do have some names in my mind of artists. I'm not gonna say the names because one of the artists, I do really like them. Unfortunately, they have passed away, but because of everything, I'm not gonna mention names though, because we shall not do that. But I do think she might mention that she doesn't want to have that fate. The second track is Elizabeth Taylor with 3 minutes and 28 seconds, also written by Taylor Swift, Max Martin, and Shellback. Elizabeth Taylor was an American actress that had her peak in Hollywood in the 1950s. She unfortunately died from congestive heart failure. This is when the heart fails to pump blood to the body. What I believe this could be used as a metaphor for, and that's why I went to the cause of her death. That's something when I thought and I read a bit about her, I thought maybe there's not a lot of Chicky as a metaphor here. Maybe she's going to do something like Clairvaux. But then I read her cause of death, and I thought, maybe she'll use this as a metaphor that she's scared she won't be able to write music. She'll get to a point where she won't be able to write music, where she won't get to pump blood into the body. So pump music, release music to the fans. Yeah, I tried to go a lot of metaphors for like the Showgirl life instead of her personal life, because I don't want to get too much into her personal life. and also because the album is called The Life of a Showgirl. So I believe the topics will be mainly centered about being a showgirl. The third song is called Opalite with 3 minutes and 55 seconds, also written by Taylor Swift, Max Martin, and Shellback. So opalite is a trade name for a man-made opalescent glass with an unusual translucent appearance. This, I believe, could be used as a metaphor, and you count how many times I say metaphor in this video, because I bet it's going to be a lot of metaphors. But this could mean that the industry has made her this pearlescent glass, translucent, that it's beautiful, but at the same time, you can see through it. You can see what's in it, what the real pearl that's there. And I believe she'll use this as a metaphor for the industry trying to get everything out of her, trying to see everything from her, trying to take everything from her. Does that make any sense? Fingers crossed it does. The fourth song is called Father Figure. It's 3 minutes and 32 seconds. It's explicit, and it's written by Taylor Swift, Max Martin, Shellback, and George Michael. Now, George Michael has unfortunately already passed away, so what everyone thinks, it's not fully confirmed that she will sample Father Figure by George Michael in the song, because the only writer for Father Figure is George Michael himself. Let's see how it goes. Let's see what it is. We'll know in a few hours. This song could be about how she feels like a father figure to many peers in the industry, as she's someone that they can look up to, and also her experiences within the music industry. And this could also be someone that they can look up to while getting their contracts. So something similar to what happened to her and her masters doesn't happen again to them. Track 5 is Eldest Daughter. It's 4 minutes and 6 seconds. It's also explicit, and it's written by Taylor Swift, Max Martin, and Shellback. I believe the themes will be very similar from Father Figure, but it could also be about how she sets some standards as an eldest daughter in the industry that her peers, her younger siblings, have now look up to, and basically try to reach those and try not to be compared. And if they're compared, they have to try to get there. So I believe this will be used a lot as a metaphor for the music industry instead of going into her personal life, even though she's also an eldest daughter. So that could also be about her personal life, but we're not going to get into her personal life. Track 8 is Ruin the Friendship. It's 3 minutes and 40 seconds, also written by Taylor Swift, Max Martin, and Shellback. Now, a lot of people were talking about the possibility of this being Blake Lively or about Travis Kelce. When they started dating, they ruined the friendship, became something more. But my favorite YouTuber mentioned this, and this is, after I heard what he said, I do agree with him. This could be how fame will affect her friendships, and that some people might not want to be around her, or might feel jealous of her, and that might ruin their friendship. So that's one thing I think it could very strongly be about. Track 7 is actually romantic. 2 minutes and 43 seconds, is explicit, and written by Taylor Swift, Max Martin, and Shellback. So actually romantic, this could likely be a love song about Taylor's and Travis's relationship, and suggest that from the many relationships she has had, this is the first person who has been actually romantic with her. So a lot of the first few tracks, because they can be used a lot as metaphors, because it's the fate of Ophelia. We know who's Ophelia. Elizabeth Taylor, we know who's Elizabeth Taylor. And Opalite, we know what's Opalite. But then if you go into actually romantic, it could be a lot of things. So that's why as lower we get into the track list, and the least she gives us about it, the less predictions I can make. We have Wishlist. This will be 3 minutes and 27 seconds. It'll be explicit and written by Taylor Swift, Max Martin, and Shellback. So I believe Wishlist could mean that she could basically buy anything with the money that she has, and physically she can almost buy anything that she wants. But she has bigger wishes in her life, that being a showgirl, being someone that's always in the public side might not allow, because she's that famous and she's worldwide known and everyone knows who she is. And for example, having a normal life, just going out into a coffee shop and going on a date, something like that. And her wish list might be, and we have the dollar signs there. And maybe it could be a bit to throw us off, for us to think, okay, it's about money. But no, it's about how money cannot buy everything. That's what I think it'll probably be about. Track 9 is called Wood. It's 2 minutes and 30 seconds, also explicit, and written by Taylor Swift, Max Martin, and Shellback. I'm not going to get into the dirty side of it, because I've heard some people going into pretty dirty theories about it. I believe this might be about that she has multiple layers within her persona, and that we as fans only get to see the outside layer, and only few people can start getting into her deeper layers. This, as the wood has many layers, a person has many layers, and people that I see on the streets might only see me outside. But if someone really gets to know me, they'll get to start seeing my inner layers. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Let's move on to track 10, Cancelled, with an exclamation mark. I'm making these relevant because on her New Heights podcast, she talked about these little things, so I want to make them relevant. 3:31, 3 minutes and 31 seconds. It's explicit and it's written by Taylor Swift, Max Martin, and Shellback. So this could potentially be about the fact that even if they try to cancel her, she has a very loyal and a very strong fan base. She's the biggest artist in the world currently, and that they couldn't bring her down even if they wanted to. It could also be about being cancelled, like in the Reputation era and all that, but I feel like she's gonna try to bring a positive side of it and try to be the showgirl and show off, like, okay, I have these fans that are loyal to me and love me, and I love them. That's what I think Cancel could be about. Track 11 is Honey. It has 3 minutes and 1 second. It's also explicit and is written by Taylor Swift, Max Martin, and Shellback. None of these songs are talking about her engagement, because she only got engaged after announcing the album. By the time she announced the album, the vinyls were already pressed, as we saw a copy of the vinyl. That means the album has had to have been finished by the New Heights interview, and she got engaged right after the recording of that. So that's why I didn't mention her engagement anywhere in my theories. So I believe Honey will be a love song about how she has finally tasted honey after having bitter relationships. So this is a sweeter relationship. Or this could also be about that no one ever has had her like he does. Or maybe even about Travis calling her honey, or vice versa. And I feel like maybe that's a very superficial theme, but I do feel like with her songwriting, she's gonna go deep. Because we do know that Dr. Taylor Allison Swift knows how to make a good banger. And track 12, the track that I'm probably... Track 5 and track 12 are the ones that I'm most excited for.
Track 12, the title track, The Life of a Showgirl, featuring Sabrina Carpenter.
This is 4 minutes and 1 second long. So if I'm not wrong, let me just look at the track length. It's the second longest song in the album. It's explicit and it's written by Taylor Swift, Max Martin, and Shellback. Actually, I researched this a lot, and I don't think Sabrina wrote the song, so yeah. But I feel like this track will also do, because it's a closing track, it'll analyze everything that happened throughout the album, all the themes, but also we'll talk about the glamorous and not glamorous side of being a showgirl. So I feel like this, because both Sabrina and Taylor are showgirls, love them, and I feel like it could be about that. So after finishing the track listing, we're gonna go into variants, something a lot of people don't like. I love them. Haven't pre-ordered anything for the album because I'm still gonna try my luck. I was waiting for signed stuff, still waiting for a signed restock, but let's wait. Life of a Showgirl variants. We'll start by CDs. So we have the Sweat and Vanilla Perfume. We have the standard CD, signed cover, sign number 1, sign 2, sign 3, and sign 4. So each one of the signed variants had a different insert. And then we also have the deluxe CD. I'm not 100% sure what any of these include, so I'm sorry. I the past few days I've been doing a lot of research mainly for the track listing. So then I didn't have much time to go for the variants. So I'm sorry for that. But then we have the It's Beautiful, that we have the poster CD that's available at Target in the US and indie record stores and Taylor's website outside of the US. And then the deluxe CD once again. It's frightening and it's rapturous. Same thing. Poster CD at Target within the US, outside the US, indie record stores, and Taylor's website. And then we also have the deluxe CD was available when the album was announced. Now going to the vinyl variants, my babies, my vinyl. We have Sweat and Vanilla Perfume, that we have the Portofino Orange vinyl. Love them. All the variants, these are the best beer variants Taylor Swift has ever had on her album. Then we have the Shiny Bug, that has the, oh gosh, I cannot read. Winter Green and Onyx Marble vinyl, and also the Violet Shimmer Marble vinyl. All look stunning. Then we have the Baby That Show Business with the Lakeside Beach Blue Sparkle vinyl, and the lovely Bouquet Golden vinyl. Beautiful. I'm gonna say beautiful so many times. The Tiny Bubbles and Champagne collection with the, oh gosh, I cannot read, gosh. Under Bright and Pearlescent Lights transparent vinyl, and the Red Lipstick and Lace is transparent vinyl. And last but certainly not least, our most recent variant, the Crow Is Your King, and we have the Summertime Spritz Shimmer vinyl. This is available at Target in the US, and independent record stores and Taylor's website outside the US. All the variants except the Sweat and Vanilla were only available on her site for limited time. Let's see how that is gonna go, because we're not 100% sure if she's gonna restock them at any time. Until now, she hasn't done the same thing as TTPD and restocked them the day before the album. So let's see how things go. Then we have one cassette variant, that's the Sweat and Vanilla Perfume, so just an orange cassette. Then we have interviews. So we have so much stuff. I'm so excited. Look at the amount of them. So we have radio interviews and TV interviews. So radio interviews, we have BBC Radio 1 on the 3rd of October at 12 a.m. Eastern Time. Capital Breakfast on the 3rd of October at 3 a.m. Eastern Time. Hits Breakfast Show on October 3rd, also at 3 a.m. Eastern Time. So it's probably one of them is pre-recorded, if not both. Then Magic FM, October 3rd at 10 past 3 a.m. Eastern Time. And Heart Breakfast, October 3rd at 3:15 a.m. Eastern Time. And Elvis Duran, October 3rd, 6 a.m. Eastern Time. Most of these are in the same building, so I feel like she's going to do like 5-10 minutes, then go to the other studio, record the next interview. I'm not 100% sure how they're going to do that. The BBC Radio 1, the show starts at 12 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm not sure if she's going to show up at that time, because that's exactly the time that the album drops. So we're not 100% sure about that. For TV interviews, we have the Graham Norton Show on October 3rd at 5:40 p.m. Eastern Time. On October 6th or 8th. Wait, I have 8th here. Maybe I'm wrong. We have The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon at 11:35 p.m. Eastern Time. And then we have the Late Night Show with Seth Meyers, October 9th at 12:35 a.m. Eastern Time. And those are our interviews. And then we're going to go into our last topic for the day, and that is the release party of a showgirl. I don't have much information about it. Aside from Taylor, we have basically that confirmed. The thing that we're also gonna get the Fate of Ophelia music video. So let's see how it's gonna be. I'm really excited. We don't have a trailer for it, so that's why I don't know anything about it. But I'm gonna just tell you all the 17 countries that are getting it on release day, October 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So we're gonna get all those days. So the USA, Canada, Mexico, UK, France, Ireland, Germany, Switzerland, Austria, Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, Sweden, Norway, Finland, Australia, and New Zealand, sorry. So this was all the information that I gathered for today. I tried to go through it as fast as I can, because I have a lot of editing to do as soon as I stop recording. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe once again. Just follow me on my socials, because that is very important, so you can get latest updates. I also sometimes post some cool vinyl alerts that are great to stay on the lookout for. Thank you so much for watching. Love you all. Bye!